giant ice spiders,
I don't like spiders.
delicious frog eggs, and jetpacks gone wrong. Episode 2 of the latest season of The Mandalorian is here, and we got tons of stuff to cover, including the origins of those cave spiders, where the Mandalorian is off to next, and just how bad Dr. Mandible is at Sabak. So strap on in and make sure to like and subscribe, because here we go. We are back on Tatooine, the two suns in the horizon hinting at midday. It's a contrast to last episode where we had that huge reveal of Boba Fett set against two setting suns. Unfortunately, there is no Boba Fett this episode, and they may stretch that out even further, kind of like what they did in episode 5 of season 1, giving us only a hint of him. Also missing any mention of Moff Gideon. It's been 2 episodes since he wielded that dark saber, and while I like these self-contained episodes, I'm hoping the show will pick up some more steam with the overall story. I should also mention this episode is directed by Peyton Reed, who you may remember directed Ant-Man. With Boba Fett's Mandalorian armor safely acquired from Cobb Vanth, Mando makes his way through the blistering Tatooine desert on his way to the port city of Mos Eisley. You know, the same one from A New Hope. Of course, things never seem to go well for Mando as he's lured into a trap by a group of ragtag bounty hunters. What's really interesting here is that they say, get the child. Not the Beskar armor, not his spoils from killing the Krayt Dragon, the child. These men have been assigned to track down our precious Baby Yoda, and yes, I know it's not actually Baby Yoda, just everyone seems to call him that, but the question is, who sent them? It could be Boba Fett, but I lean more towards it being Moff Gideon. This dude probably has a huge reward for whoever can retrieve the child for him. Mando makes quick work of these thugs, and I love how the show is able to showcase his gadgets in new and interesting ways, like how he uses his grappling line to grab hold of his weapon to knock out 2 of the bad guys.
That's pretty cool.
The remaining bounty hunter, who's like 3 feet tall, threatens to hurt Baby Yoda, and once again the Mandalorian expresses how far he's willing to go to protect him.
If you put one mark on him, there's no place you will be able to hide from me.
He trades his jetpack in exchange for the child, which of course completely backfires for this greedy bounty hunter. You may also notice Mando still covered in the acidic slime from the Krayt Dragon. That armor was able to protect him from the acid and may offer some clues as to how Boba Fett survived the Sarlacc pit in Return of the Jedi. We know from last episode that Krayt Dragons eat Sarlaccs.
I've lived on Tatooine my whole life. There's no such thing as an abandoned Sarlacc pit.
There is if you eat the Sarlacc.
And that Sarlaccs take years to digest their victims.
As you are slowly digested over 1,000 years.
What if one of these dragons ate the Sarlacc Boba Fett was in and he was able to escape out of that dragon, similar to how the Mandalorian was able to escape? Back at the cantina, Mando meets up with Peli Motto, who's having a friendly game of Sabak with Dr. Mandible. Sabak is the card game Lando Calrissian plays in Solo, and speaking of Solo, you can see the blaster mark from A New Hope in the concept art for this scene at the end of the episode. Dr. Mandible was also seen 5 episodes ago when Mando first made his appearance on Tatooine. There's also a frog person in that episode. Now, I'm not that great at telling frog people apart, so I'll let you decide if that's the same frog lady Mando later joins up with. Fun fact, Frog Lady is played by the same performance artist who did all of Queel's work in season 1. Over some delicious crate meat, Peli tells Mando that this mysterious passenger needs safe travel to the estuary moon planet of Trask, located one system over from Tatooine. In exchange, she'll tell him where a group of Mandalorians have been hiding out, perhaps one that escaped Navarro. It makes me wonder, if there are indeed Mandalorians hiding there, will he be reunited with the Armorer, and if she'll be able to fix that old Boba Fett armor. The passenger has requested they travel sublight, meaning not light speed. Apparently traveling any faster will destroy the eggs she's trying to fertilize. If only she knew the biggest threat to her eggs would be Baby Yoda. Although the episode focuses heavily on the child, we don't get to see him use much of his powers like we've seen in the past. The closest we get is him moving the eggs in their liquid tank. Mando wakes up to an incoming call from 2 New Republic X-Wing starfighters. One is helmed by Captain Carson Teva, who, for you Canadians out there, might remember the actor from a show called Kim's Convenience. The other is Trapper Wolf, played by Dave Filoni, the showrunner of The Mandalorian, and who we previously saw in Chapter 6 taking on Malak's space station. They pulled over Mando because he's not running scanning a beacon, something that allows the New Republic patrol ships to see who's in their system. And if Mando can't give them the proper credentials, he'll have to be escorted to Adelphi, a New Republic outpost. He makes a run for it, knowing his ping will alert them to a warrant on his head for infiltrating the prison ship known as Bothan 5. We saw his exploits on this ship in episode 6 when he was tasked with rescuing a prisoner known as Kin. Mando is able to evade the X-Wings by diving through the atmosphere of the ice planet Maldo Crace, but the strain on his ship is too much and it crash lands among a frozen cave system. According to Wikipedia, this is the same ice planet we saw in episode 1 where Mando escaped a vicious Ravenik. And Baby Yoda eats another egg. With nowhere to go, Mando suggests they sleep while they can, but Lady Frog's time is precious. She's on her final breeding cycle, and if she doesn't get these eggs delivered on time, they'll die. So she uses the dismantled droid Zero, who tried to kill Baby Yoda back in Chapter 6, to communicate with Mando, letting him know that it's part of his code to fulfill his end of their deal.
I thought honoring one's word was a part of the Mandalorian code.
While fixing the ship, the child alerts Mando that Frog Lady has strayed away, so he uses his predator-like scan to follow her footprints to an underwater hot spring. I mean, come on Mando, give her some privacy. We saw Mando use this tracking technique in Chapter 4 when he has his first run-in with Cara Dune. The Frog Lady bathes her eggs in the hot spring probably because the energy on her egg container has been losing steam. And my first thought about this cave was that we'd have an encounter with a Wampa, the Yeti-like creature Luke Skywalker almost died from in Empire Strikes Back. But oh no, we have something much worse. As Baby Yoda goes on his quest to eat anything egg-shaped, he unleashes a swarm of ice spiders. Spiders that come in all shapes and sizes, including this giant one. Now this isn't the first time these spiders have been created for Star Wars. In fact, they were originally planned to be roaming Dagobah in concept art for The Empire Strikes Back. That idea was scrapped, but they were later seen in Star Wars Rebels, where they became known as Krykna. Mando and Frog Lady get the hell out of Dodge, and we even see Frog Lady have to hop on all fours to outrun the massive plague of spiders. Mando himself has to use many of his tools to escape, including thermal grenades, flamethrower van braces, and his blaster. They make it to the cockpit when an absolute giant spider looks to make quick work of them when they're suddenly saved by those two Republic fighter pilots from earlier. They've tracked Mando down and come to his rescue, agreeing to eliminate the warrant for his arrest, considering what he did way back in Chapter 6. Apparently, security reports showed that the Mandalorian was integral in bringing down 3 priority culprits from the wanted register. As well, it showed his efforts to protect Lieutenant Davin. You may remember Davin as being the only humanoid crew member on the prison ship. He was killed by the Twi'lek mercenary Jian. In exchange for erasing his warrant, they want Mando to make sure his transponder is fixed, so the next time he's in the system, they won't vaporize him. And with the ship barely able to make it out, they continue on to the estuary moon of Trask, with only the cockpit of the Razor Crest pressurized for space travel. So it looks like next episode will be on this new planet, a planet which apparently has a Mandalorian covenant where he might get answers about both Baby Yoda and the Boba Fett armor. Will we see Boba next episode, and is Moff Gideon still on his tracks? We'll just have to wait next week to find out. Thanks for watching everyone. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and share with your friends. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ThinkStoryYT. Until next time, remember, Daddy loves you very much.